In ancient Thai folklore, the forest was never a sanctuary. It watched, it listened. Hunters understood that to take a life without reverence was to summon a punishment far older than law. Not from kings or governors, but from the spirits that breathed between the boughs. They called it Suea Saming. The name itself carries a chill, whispering of something that transgresses the natural order. Suea Saming, the spirit tiger or shape-shifting tiger, is a legend that has haunted the fireside tales of northern and central Thailand for generations, serving as a grim warning to those who might forget their place. Unlike a common beast of the jungle, the Suea Saming is not driven by simple instinct. It is cunning, diabolical, and frighteningly intelligent. It hunts with the patience and cruelty of a human mind trapped within the body of a predator. There are many paths that lead a man to this cursed existence, each one a different shade of damnation. The most common tales, however, speak of a soul twisted by obsession. It could be a hunter whose thirst for the kill drowned his respect for life, or a powerful sorcerer who delved too deep into forbidden, transformative magic. Sometimes it was not a choice, but a curse, the result of a dark ritual performed against them or the heavy weight of karmic debt. It was even said that those who repeatedly consumed the flesh of their own kind would find their soul warped, their humanity peeling away until only the beast remained. Over time, their spirit becomes inextricably bound to the tiger's form, forever caught in the twilight between man and monster, unable to fully return to the life they once knew. In the oldest tellings, the Suea Saming was not born a monster. It was once a man. He was a hunter who lived at the edge of the village, where the laws of civilization gave way to the primal rules of the jungle. At first, he hunted to provide for his family, his skill a source of pride and sustenance. Then, he began to hunt, to prove his dominance, to feel the thrill of power over the wild things of the forest. Soon, that thrill became an addiction. He no longer hunted for need or for sport, but for the sheer, visceral love of the kill for, the sound of bones cracking, and the final, fading warmth of life. The village elders watched him with wary eyes, whispering that the spirits of the forest, the *Phaipa*, saw his growing darkness. In Thai animist belief, every living thing possesses a spirit, a fragment of the world's soul. To take a life without showing gratitude, without acknowledging the sacrifice, is to leave a void within oneself, an open door inviting something terrible to enter. And for this hunter, something did. Consumed by his dark desires, the legends say he sought out a reclusive hermit sorcerer, a master of black magic hidden deep within the mountains. He craved the power to become the ultimate predator, invulnerable, fearless, with senses as sharp as a tiger's claws. The sorcerer offered him the ritual, but it came with a dreadful price. A twofold act of defilement meant to shatter the sacred barrier between forms. First, he had to consume the raw flesh of a tiger he had slain. Then, he had to consume the flesh of a man. The hunter, lost to his obsession, did not hesitate. He obeyed. That night, beneath a moon that seemed to bleed red through the canopy, he performed the profane sacrament. A fire of agony ignited in his veins. His bones twisted and snapped, elongating and reforming into an unfamiliar shape. His human screams tore through the jungle, a sound of such pure terror that even the insects and nightbirds fell silent, as if the forest itself held its breath. By the time the first rays of dawn pierced the gloom, a tiger stood where the man had been. Its stripes were like shadows, and its eyes held a terrifying, cold intelligence. The Suea Saming was born. This creature is defined by its horrifying duality. It can shapeshift between its human and tiger forms, a seamless transition from man to monster. Its most chilling ability, however, is its power to mimic human voices. It can cry with the heart-wrenching sound of a lost child, call out a loved one's name with perfect clarity, or whimper for help like an injured traveler. Some tales even claim it stalks the jungle trails at night on two legs, a grotesque silhouette that is neither fully man nor fully beast. Its purpose is singular, to lure unsuspecting villagers, hunters, and travelers deep into the forest where they become its prey. When the sun rises, it might return to its human guise, walking back into the village covered in scratches and wounds that mirror the injuries the tiger sustained during its nocturnal hunt. Over generations, villagers developed ways to identify a Suea Saming hiding in their midst. They learned to look for the signs: a person with unnervingly intense, tiger-like eyes that seemed to glow in the dark, a neighbor who mysteriously appeared with fresh scratches or bite marks after a reported tiger attack, someone who recoiled from their own reflection in a mirror or actively avoided the presence of monks and sacred spaces, a person who refused to eat cooked meals, instead showing a disturbing craving for raw, bloody meat. But the Suea Saming was no true tiger. It was far worse. It remembered language, it remembered faces, and it remembered the names of those it once called family and friends. At night, it would prowl the edge of the village, its voice a ghostly echo from the trees. Mother, brother, help me. Those who let their compassion override their fear, those who followed the desperate calls into the darkness, were never found whole again. By sunrise, a man would be seen walking through the village pit, silent, his expression hollowed out with fresh wounds shaped like claws striping his skin. No one dared to accuse him, but in the nights that followed, no one slept soundly. To defend against such a creature, people relied on faith and ancient wisdom. They sought protection in the sacred power of Buddhist tattoos, the **** etched into their skin by monks. They carried amulets blessed in temple ceremonies or wore sacred threads around their wrists. If lost in the jungle at night, they were taught to call out monk chants loudly, filling the darkness with holy words to drive the evil away. And above all, they followed the most important rule: never, ever answer a strange voice that calls from the forest at night. The legend of Suea Saming is more than just a monster story. It is a profound moral allegory. It represents the terrifying consequences of uncontrolled desire, unchecked violence, and the spiritual decay that comes from losing one's humanity to obsession. It is a living embodiment of karma, a stark reminder that the consequences of one's actions are not always delayed until the next life. This is why the tale was told so often to children and to young hunters, always ending with the same chilling warning. The forest listens, and not everything that calls your name is human. The roots of the Suea Saming are buried deep in Thailandism, a belief system far older than the Buddhism that later shaped the culture. In this worldview, the forest is alive, governed by powerful spirits known as ****, who act as guardians of the natural balance. When a person acts with excessive cruelty and disrespect, they offend these spirits and break the harmony of the world. This transgression causes the soul to lose its human anchor, allowing it to be corrupted and transformed. Monks taught that these beings were not simply demons to be feared. They were lessons, cautionary figures embodying the karmic price of violence. From this belief, the villagers created a set of unbreakable rules for survival: never answer a disembodied voice in the forest after sundown, never follow the sound of crying, always offer a prayer of greeting to the forest spirits before entering their domain. And hunters must always thank the spirit of the animal whose life they take, because once you forget respect, the forest may not let you leave. You may come back, changed. Some versions of the legend offer a sliver of hope, a path to redemption for the cursed soul. They say a Suea Saming can be freed from its monstrous form, but only under one condition. It must find the courage to confess its terrible crimes to a monk at the precise moment of dawn. While it is still in human form and bleeding from the wounds of its nightly hunt, only then, through penance and purification, can its soul be cleansed. But the forest rarely lets go of what it has claimed. And some hungers prefer the dark.